All right, this is Villain Report here at the Justice Center in Portland, Oregon, interviewing protest interviews. How you doing, sir? What's your name?
I'm Phil.
Phil?
Yeah.
All right. So, are you from Portland, or did you come out for this protest?
I'm from Portland.
Right
yeah, I've lived in Northeast Portland pretty much my whole life.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you're out here at the Justice Center protest tonight. What brings you personally out to this? What's there for you?
I cannot stand the brutality that the police continue to show. As what we're all asking for is for them to stop hurting people, stop killing people. And their response is to continue hurting people. And I cannot stay home when that's happening. Knowing the framework of what's happening in the world, in our community right now, and this fall with the election and the political scene that's happening, I feel like as this the Trump regime, that's how I think of it, is all about it's just abusive as far as a relationship goes. It's the administration's relationship with the American people is abusive, and as it's losing power this fall, potentially, abusive members and relationships tend to do really ugly things, and I can't help but to feel that they're testing the people of the United States right now. And the first people, the first communities that we're seeing that are just getting squashed are Black communities, and we have to stand up. I mean, there's no excuse to just try to continue life as everything is okay, as we know what's happening right now. We have to say something, we have to do something.
So, are you saying that you see new things happening recently, or
tonight?
Well, I mean, you talked about the Trump regime, which is in its fourth year here, and you're talking about Black communities getting targeted right now. Are you suggesting that these things are happening new and they haven't been happening, or to a lesser extent, or have not all in the past?
I think they've been happening.
Yeah.
As far as police violence on the Black community, it's been happening for a long time since there's been police, and people are starting to wake up finally. But the police's response to people's waking up is totally inappropriate, and we have to document it. We have to tell them to stop. And as they're abusing us, as we're telling them to stop, and as they're abusing us, as we are documenting it, we have to continue. We can't just stop doing that. And that's why I'm down here.
All right. If you could have your perfect utopian outcome to happen after all these protests and riots, they all come to a point and cause some kind of result, what would you want to see happen?
I would love to see a lot of change in our culture. Wouldn't be so many white people with short shorts waiting in line for ice cream. Not in a utopic setting.
I don't have any idea what that means. What does that mean?
That's just something that you see in Portland the last few years. That's what it looks like. That's what Saturday mornings look like in the summer. It's not utopic to me. Seeing that kind of conformity in culture, that kind of uniformity, everyone looking the same. That's what I've seen the trend as being. When people are waiting in line, they're all doing the same thing. So what I'd like to see is this respect that people have for authority to just kind of crumble away, and freedom to be seen as a sacred thing, more sacred than order in society. As we see what the result is, of order of an unsustainable society, people are getting crushed by it.
Huh. I actually believe that authority is a myth. It's more nuanced than it sounds. I believe that, I think that a lot of people believe that authority is real, in the sense that there are people that have the right to rule over other people just for whatever reason or not. I think that that's a myth. That nobody has any power over another person. But I do think that voluntary hierarchies of authority are valid. When people are allowed to enter into and choose a leader and submit to that willingly. The thing is that there's no permission to opt out in a lot of things. So
Yeah, exactly.
so I agree. I wish people would stop worshiping authority so much and just
Absolutely.
realize that they have just as much right and self-autonomy as the person that has some political office.
Yeah, I think that's one of the root things here. Yeah, conformity and obedience.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that the police are responding to people's realization that the police don't have authority anymore. Police are the lawless ones. We aren't the lawless ones. It's the police, and they're showing us that. They're reminding us. And that means that we don't need to do what they tell us to do. They're looking like fools as they're coming after people the way that they are. It's all about numbers, I've seen. If a group of police get to a scene and a bunch of people start walking towards them, they leave. You know, and when they come out and they get some people outnumbered, then they'll start shooting them. That's what Portland police have been doing the last couple weeks, from what I've witnessed with my eyes.
Huh.
And I don't think very many people are reporting that. I'm trying to report it, and it's just I'm kind of new to YouTube, and I don't
Yeah.
have any.
Me too.
Yeah. So.
Well,
but
if I
I'm
can,
trying.
I want to try to push you on that last question again. So you told me what you would not like to see.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
what would you like to see?
The opposite of that would be the opposite of everybody waiting in lines everywhere. That's not equality. Certain class of people are getting that ice cream. That's not cool. I don't think that's a very pretty thing. Seeing everybody, all ages, all colors, like tonight, only during the day and everywhere, without the police doing this or being here with their weapons. They can still exist. Honestly, I know it's kind of radical, but I believe they should be disarmed.
The police?
Yes, and I can't do that overnight. We can't say, okay, no more weapons, because they have not trained properly. We need to start over, unfortunately.
All right, I'll be devil's advocate. We disarm the police, and then the bad guys with guns come around and take over and just do whatever they want.
Yeah, I think that the biggest threat that you're pointing to are the police right now, in the situation that they don't have a job unless they have an unarmed position.
All right.
And that is a real threat. The Proud Boys, some local far-right extremist groups, colluding with what I think is dangerously close to what I would believe would be paramilitary forces.
Huh. Here in Portland?
Yes.
I haven't heard about that.
I've heard about that ever since 2016. Every summer I've seen it.
Huh.
Proud
All right.
Boys. Let's say secret text messages have come out between Portland police and Proud Boys.
Huh. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, so it was a couple years old there, but that was a big one.
All right. Is there anything that's like burning on your tongue that you want to like mention? I don't think that's a saying, burning your tongue.
No, I just I would hope I would like to see a lot more honor and respect universally. The police are going to have to change their role. They're not doing it yet, but they're going to have to start respecting people and honoring what's happened. Memorializing people that have died, that have been killed by them, and apologizing and listening. Yeah, and I want to see a lot more people being respectful for the dead.
All right. Well, I thank you for the interview.
Yeah, you're welcome.